Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me again today for your daily tarot reading. So, whatever day you're watching this, I just want you to know that you found this reading in order to expand upon your relationships, in order to heal yourself and your relationships, and to find joy. And so that's what these readings are all about. If you're watching this close to the time that it gets published, I do want to say that the energy that I'm feeling today is very uplifted, and it feels like the past couple of days we've gone through this process of healing, of repair, and we've come out of something that felt quite dark emotionally, maybe hopeless, maybe quite stagnant, or even lethargic. We've come out of that energy. We've gone through this purifying process, this repair and healing. And what we're coming into today is this sense of new life, invigoration, energized, hence why I'm wearing orange. And I've got my sun earrings on because there's this real sense of joy coming through today. So that's a really lovely note to begin our reading on. And even if you're not watching this on the day that it was published, there's a reason you found this reading at the time that you did, and hopefully the energy that I'm talking about now will resonate with you at the time that you're viewing this. Okay, let's get into this reading then, shall we? All right. Yes. We've got the sun. Well, isn't that just wonderful? So the sun is, it's all about joy. It's about healing. It's about coming into this new place of aliveness and kind of celebrating the growth that had to happen underground. There's all these sunflowers up here. They started in the ground. A lot of the growth and the expansion and the strength came from this rooting into the ground, which happened without anyone seeing it. There wasn't any apparent growth happening, but without a seed sprouting underground and beginning to grow roots, the rest of the plant would not have come into fruition, right? So the sun is all about finally seeing the fruits of joy, finally seeing the fruits of our practices and strength building coming up and, shining and being glorious out in the sun. So yeah, this energy really speaks to me today. So much joy. I want to say that in terms of relationships, because that's where I really try to angle these readings. So much of this is about sharing joy with your loved ones. And today is such a lovely energy to do that in. Even if that's just sending a message to someone that you love, to let them know that you're having a great day and you want to share that with them. Or whether it's sharing joy with your partner at home, doing something together that brings you joy, or even just expressing yourself. Your inner child wants to come out and play today. So be playful. Be playful with the people around you and just really, really just take advantage of this energy and play. So let's move on. The 5 of Swords. That's an interesting combination. I think this one for me today is really talking about being aware of, even though there's a lot of joy and happiness and playfulness and kind of maybe even teasing, you can have too much of a good thing. And it's always good to be aware of your energy. And if you're starting to be slightly overbearing or hyper or taking your words a little bit too far in terms of teasing someone, that could lead to some tensions building. You know, the man in this card, he's feeling victorious, but look at the sort of the disconnection that has happened because of that. Is victory worth it when what you leave in your wake is disconnection and discord? So yeah, I think this is just a slight kind of, while I don't want to take away from that joyful energy, which is very much in the air, to kind of just be mindful, be joyful mindfully, and to also be aware of other people's energy, because of course it's not the case that everyone's going to be able to tap into this collective joyfulness that's in the air today. You know, some people might be living quite unconsciously, which means they can't access that energy. It may be the case that people have a lot of things going on in their life which is kind of masking or layering over that joy that is actually accessible to us all, but you know, they might just not be feeling it. They might have lots of things going on in their lives, and especially in these days, there's so much fear in the air, and it's very easy for people to plug into that, right, with the media and you know, what we're seeing in the news especially. It's easy for people to plug into that, and so they might not be feeling very joyful. And so it's always good to be mindful of the fact that even if you can feel that, which is great, and it's a really good sign, that your loved ones might not necessarily you know, be able to access that. So while it's wonderful to share your joy with the people in your life, with your loved ones, in your relationships today, and to kind of just spread a bit of joy, if people don't necessarily respond to you in a way that you might want, in a way that's reciprocal, just to be aware of the fact that they probably just need some more compassion, you know. Try not to let that become a source of conflict. Try not to react to that and say, well, I'm happy today, why aren't you? So yeah, I think that's what that's really speaking about. Let's look at our final card for today, the Queen of Wands. Ugh, so many sunflowers going on today. I love it. There's a lot of lion energy here. Lion energy. And if you're watching this at the time that I've recorded it, this is actually time when Venus and Mars are conjunct. So they're kind of positioned at the same point in the sky within the sign of Leo. And, you know, I mean, traditionally Mars represents the masculine, Venus represents the feminine, and this time represents a kind of coming together, a kind of consummation of those two energies in their highest forms within the sign of Leo, which is all about joy, which is all about play and creative expression and courage. And that's what the Queen of Wands really represents. She's a courageous energy, a courageous personality. She's charismatic, she plays, but she's also very much in touch with the kind of darker side of her being, with her shadow. You know, she's integrated. And so there really is a sense, and I think because the sun is such a strong, light, bright energy, there's this sense in this reading of just being aware of the kind of shadows and the kind of unconscious energies that might still be around you today. And to just tap into that and to allow that. And to still allow your joy to be within that space, you know. I think today, when a court card shows up like this, the Queen of Wands, it's really asking you to expand upon an aspect of your personality. And today it's all about compassion. It's all about creative joy and expression and kind of being courageous and charismatic and out there in the world. But there's also a part of you, maybe there's just 1 foot, you've got 1 foot in your shadow. You're still in touch with that other part of you and with the parts of other people that might still be feeling some dark energy, some dark feelings or kind of deeper, heavier feelings. So you're still aware of that and you're still holding on to that. So today I would say the reading is all about joy. That's definitely the overriding message. But joy that's still in touch with a sense of compassion for other people. How can you share your joy, but also be willing to let that joy sit in other people's pain, in other people's heaviness? How can you be charismatic and out there in the world while still accepting that there's quite a lot of darkness in the world? We're not saying to ignore that. Wonderful. So thank you so much for watching today's reading. I hope it's been helpful, and I will see you again tomorrow.